So the pen has hit the paper. The Cleveland Browns just signed Shedeur Sanders on a 4-year, $4.6 million contract. And this is huge news because now we know Shedeur has a real chance and the Browns felt confident enough to commit to him. It's crazy what the value of this contract is for Cleveland, given what he would have made if he was a first-round pick. But nonetheless, Shedeur has a chance, and that really was kind of up in the air with how the Browns quarterback room is right now. Like, there really is 5 quarterbacks on the payroll. It's wild. Deshaun Watson, Kenny Pickett, Joe Flacco, Dillon Gabriel, and now Shedeur. And I really have never seen a 5th-round pick take the league by storm the way Shedeur has. His following is just so good for the NFL as a business, and you got guys like Ice Cube publicly saying he was bothered the Raiders didn't draft the guy. Shedeur is number 1 in jersey sales out of the entire rookie class, more than first overall pick Cam Ward. And what I am most excited about with this signing is that we are going to get to watch the Shedeur vs. Dillon Gabriel battle throughout all of OTAs and training camp, because with the way rookie minicamp was covered, you would have thought you were watching like a golf playoff round or something. The battle between these two is intense. It's great competition, and now we know it's going to continue to be that over the next few months. I think the quarterback competition is great for this team as a whole, and it's just refreshing because we know the Browns' past and the lazy players they have had and just the losing culture. This all feels like a big reset. I mean, there's articles coming out talking about how the Steelers will regret for life passing Shedeur in the draft, and I don't want to go that far yet because historically the Steelers have completely owned the Browns for my entire life, but it does feel like it has to be about time for things to change, and it's time for the Browns to finally catch a break and find their guy. And people have been amazed with the way Shedeur throws the ball and how the football comes out of his hands at minicamp. Really, both him and Dillon Gabriel were impressive. Also, moving on, I have some crazy news to talk about regarding this whole Shedeur Sanders situation, because we had a lawsuit update with a fan filing for a fight against a so-called racial discrimination that was assisted with Sanders falling so far in the draft. In terms of all the racial stuff, I don't really go down that rabbit hole on this channel. I like to stay in my own lane, and I'm not that educated on all that sort of stuff. I just like to focus on the football side of things. Do I think Shedeur was unfairly evaluated in the draft? Yes, I do. There's no way he was a 5th rounder, but his buddy Cam Ward is literally a black quarterback, and he was taken with the 1st overall pick. So the entire argument literally makes no sense in my eyes. I do think the real reason for the fall was obviously because front offices were scared to death for some reason of Deion and all the media attention and the following that Shedeur has, and thankfully as a Browns fan the front office decided to snag him. The entire College Game Day panel was dumbfounded by his slide when it was happening during their draft coverage. I still remember the look on Nick Saban's face when it got to the 3rd and 4th round and nobody was taking him and the Raiders passed on him twice in a row. Even when Jalen Milroe was selected ahead of him, I think Nick Saban was happy at the time, but he looked surprised. And once Shedeur got drafted and came to Cleveland, he has been nothing but a joy to all his teammates. He has shown up ready to work. He reportedly sometimes has been the last one to leave the building, making extra throws to the rookies and spending extra time with the coaches. So the NFL did make a big mistake letting this guy slide, and he is about to prove everyone wrong because now he really has no pressure. He can just go out there and play hard, have fun, and get better every day. His future is locked up. He can just focus on football and football only and let all the outside noise sort itself out. But anyways, to get back to that lawsuit, let me just read you guys off the actual information from the article updating everyone of this filing. Here's what it said. It's been less than a month since Shedeur Sanders fell to the final day of the 2025 NFL Draft. To the surprise of many experts and fans, the Colorado product slide from an expected 1st round pick to round 5 was the biggest shock of the event this year, and a Colorado Buffaloes fan is seeking $100 million in damages from the NFL. The fan filed a lawsuit on May 7th. Nearly 2 weeks later, they've now filed an emergency motion for early and targeted discovery. Here were kind of the things listed in bullet point form. First would be severe emotional distress and trauma. The second was important for my own happiness. On May 19th, the plaintiff, referred to as John Doe, filed this motion in the U.S. District Court for the Northern District of Georgia. The reason for this filing was the urgency, public interest, and volume of evidence likely to be in the exclusive possession of the NFL. The filing is requesting specific documents including internal communications, emails, text messages, and memos between NFL executives, league officials, team general managers, representatives, scouts, and owners relating to Sanders from January 1st, 2024 through May 1st, 2025, scouting reports, internal assessments, draft boards, and interview notes used by NFL teams when evaluating quarterbacks in the 2025 NFL Draft, audio or video recordings to team meetings meetings, draft room communications, or NFL combine sessions involving Sanders, communications with third-party media outlets regarding public portrayal and narrative of Sanders prior to the NFL draft, all documents related to the NFL's investigation into the prank call placed to Sanders, results or report of the inquiry into why Sanders' personal phone number provided to the NFL was released to waiver wires, the 61-page arbitration report that found evidence of collusion against black quarterbacks. Alright, so the filing states that this is urgent and essential because the actions at issue have caused irreparable harm not only to Sanders, but also to the plaintiff and fans who reasonably expect fairness, integrity, and non-discrimination. We are committed to exposing the truth behind what appears to be a systematic effort to undermine Shedeur Sanders' opportunities in the NFL, Doe said in a statement accompanying the filing. Sorry, I cannot say that word to save my life. Anyways, this motion is not just about one player, it represents a broader fight against racial discrimination and the abuse of power within one of the most influential sports leagues in the world. Doe also filed an argument against dismissal of the complaint in frivolity, essentially an attempt to keep the court from dismissing it for lacking merit. That argument referred to other racial discrimination cases filed against the NFL, including Trotter versus the National Football League, as well as former San Francisco 49ers quarterback Colin Kaepernick's lawsuit filed in 2019. Alright, moving on, to get back to football, let's take a look and react to some of the national media's reactions to this Shedeur contract that he signed with the Browns.
We've got some breaking news out of the NFL where the Browns have signed Shedeur Sanders to his rookie deal. Our NFL insider Jonathan Jones reporting that it's a 4-year, $4.6 million deal. So Cleveland, if you remember, selected Shedeur in the 5th round of this year's draft with the 144th overall pick. He joins a pretty crowded quarterback room there in Cleveland that also includes Kenny Pickett, Joe Flacco, Dillon Gabriel, and, of course, Deshaun Watson. Shedeur signs that rookie deal, and now there's, 5 quarterbacks in that room on their roster. So what can you tell us about the latest of said quarterback room in Cleveland?
You know, I think we do first have to just address this off the top, that this is probably the first 5th-round rookie that we've come in with a breaking news saying that they signed their slotted rookie deal. But that's who Shedeur Sanders is, right? That is the fantastic personality that he is, and that's what made this draft pick all the more interesting. Of course, also was interesting because he was drafted 2 rounds after the Browns took Dillon Gabriel. Look, we talked about those 5 quarterbacks. Well, let's go ahead and put one off to the side. Deshaun Watson. He is very likely going to start the season on the physically unable to perform list. I have my doubts about whether he'll be able to play at all.
What a wild time it is to be alive right now, man. This Shedeur hype is unreal. I cannot believe that he's a 5th-round pick. Let me know what you think about this signing in the comments below. I'm super pumped as a Browns fan and just as a content creator around the Browns because, man, the Shedeur hype is unreal. You guys have been amazing. Thank you all so much for your support. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe. Let me know what you would like to see next, and until then, I will see you all later.